At Big Moose Lake in the Adirondacks, one of the most horrific and scandalous killings to ever occur in upstate New York occurred. A multitude of plays, songs, even a movie and a novel have been inspired by the murder of Grace Brown in July 1906. Grace Brown was raised in South Idyllic, Chenango County on a dairy farm. Brown lived her life on the farm and moved to Cortland to work at the Gillette skirt factory, where she met Chester Gillette, the owner's nephew. Before his affluent uncle took him under his wing and placed him at the skirt factory, Gillette, who was originally from Montana, had been moving around and bouncing from job to job. When they first met, they secretly started dating. Grace was not up to the expectations Gillette's family had set for him as a country girl and a factory worker. He was also regarded as a fantastic catch in the community because he was attractive and from a respectable family. He was unable to disclose that he was seeing a factory girl. Brown told Gillette she was expecting in May of 1906. He was 23, she was 20. In those days, society used to reject unmarried mothers. Brown returned to her family's farm, where she and Gillette wrote letters to each other, in which she essentially pleaded with him to propose to her. In a final letter, Gillette promised to whisk her away on a trip to the Adirondacks in July. Legend has it that Brown thought he would propose to her while they were traveling, or she may have thought they would get married. The young couple stayed in Utica for the first night of their journey before traveling by train to Tupper Lake. On July the 11th, they boarded a train, headed toward Utica, and stopped at Big Moose Lake in Herkimer County. Gillette and Brown obtained a canoe and spent the day on the lake. Brown left her trunk at the train station, but Gillette traveled on the boat with everything he owned, including a tennis racket attached luggage. Brown had already informed Gillette by letter that she was unable to swim. Gillette struck her in the head with the tennis racket around early evening. Gillette escaped the situation and spent the night using a false identity at the Arrowhead Hotel in Inlet. Soon after, Brown's body was discovered, and an examination later revealed that she had a 4-month-old pregnancy inside of her and injuries on her skull. After the murder, Gillette was detained shortly after. Newspapers in upstate New York and elsewhere chronicled the incident and the trial, although Gillette insisted he was innocent throughout. The most extraordinary trial ever held in the region at the Herkimer courtroom attracted hundreds of spectators. Newscasters like Bat Matterson, who was well known from New York, covered the story. The defense contended during the trial that Brown had jumped into the lake intentionally to end her life. They did this by citing letters Brown had sent to Gillette, in which Brown expressed her desire to die. They said that the boat capsized as Gillette stood up to help her. The district attorney said that Gillette had struck her in the head with the tennis racket and failed to intervene when she drowned in the lake. The jury convicted Gillette guilty of first-degree murder on December the 5th, 1906, after nearly 5 hours of deliberation, and he was given the death penalty by electric chair. When his sentence was announced, he remained composed and even chuckled. From the Herkimer County Jail, Gillette was moved to the Auburn prison, which is now the Auburn Correctional Facility. where he was put to death on March the 30th, 1908. As soon as he was found guilty, he was sentenced to death and taken by armed guard to Auburn Prison to meet with the state electrician Edwin Davis. Auburn Prison was the first prison to put someone to death by electric chair in 1890. Gillette confessed to the murder to his spiritual counselors at the prison as his last day on earth drew closer, though they withheld the details. The body of Gillette was transported to the adjacent Soul Cemetery and interred there in an unmarked grave. Celebrity cemetery enthusiasts claim that the grave's exact position is unknown because the plot had a road laid over it. This murder case continues to intrigue many people. The murder of Grace Brown was the inspiration for numerous works, including the 1925 novel An American Tragedy, the 1926 play, and the 2005 opera of the same name. It has also served as the basis for the 1951 film A Place in the Sun and the Adirondack folk ballad, The Ballad of Big Moose Lake, among other works. The Herkimer County Courthouse, which is owned by the county government and serves as the Sheriff's Department's present headquarters, and what used to be the Herkimer County Jail, are still standing today. The Herkimer County Historical Society provides tours of the region. General public is welcome to make use of the lake's hiking, camping, and boating activities. This video was requested by a kind subscriber. I appreciate this subscriber since it made the research and the image restoration so enjoyable. No matter what decade it occurred in, this is a sad, tragic story. I do, however, find it heartwarming that the young woman and the child inside of her were never forgotten. What do you think about this case?